It's time for a writing vlog. Man, Wrigley, it's such a loud toy. Oh, it's a bottle. That'd be why. It's time for a new writing vlog. Now, let's see. How many words did I write this week? Huh. Okay. And 0. 0 words. Okay, cool. We'll do a different thing today. Hi, I'm Michael Christensen, and that was not a joke. I have not written a word this week. So, here's what happened. Monday. Woke up with a new schedule I was going to try out for the week. Go to work a little early. Work out on my lunch break. Go to the gym after work. Cook dinner when I get home. And then things changed at work. Basically, someone is leaving the company and I'm going to be taking on some of their responsibilities in my day job. And that's a good thing because that might mean a promotion, or even if it's just a title change, that could be a permanent spot that I end up filling. Either way, it's definitely a good thing, career-wise. Writing-wise, this was a weird week. So I didn't write anything, so instead we're gonna do an AuthorTube tag. Specifically, this is the Disney writing tag created by Cavanaugh. Let's get into it. Question 1, Aladdin. Poof, a genie appears and is willing to grant you one wish to fix your current work in progress. What do you wish for? Current work in progress would be the library novel. One wish, that I was able to write more of it during the time that had elapsed. That's cheap. Let's aim outside the box. That I knew where it was going. I think I'm getting the sense that I may not be able to be a pantser going forward. It's an interesting exercise, and I almost like it. Clarity, vision. I think I would change the feeling that I get when I open the window and I don't know what I'm going to write about that day. Everything else I can work through, that's one that's hard. So that's what I would change. Question 2, The Lion King. These are very timely for 2019. If you had to retell a Shakespeare play using animals as the main characters, which play would you choose? And which animals? Romeo and Juliet with gnomes. Wait, has that already been done? Honestly, one of my favorites is Hamlet, but I also like Macbeth. It's been a long time since I've read it or since I've seen it, but I do like that one a lot. So, Macbeth with dogs. Macbeth with dogs that live in people's houses. Wait, would that mean the dogs are murdering each other? I changed my answer. Changed it to, I'll say Taming of the Shrew, because no one dies in that. And still keep it as dogs. Or seahorses, because the males have the baby, and that would, I think, make that story work a little better. Take that, Shakespeare. Number 3, Pocahontas. Have you ever pulled inspiration for a story from history, and what was it? I don't think I ever have, actually. There's elements of other cultures in my stories, particularly in the fantasy novel that I'm drafting. And I think the superhero novel contains elements of the feeling that I had in, we'll say, 2016 in America. That's not really history. So I guess no, not really, not so far. Question 4, Snow White. What was the very first story you ever told? In elementary school, I remember sitting down for a creative writing project in class on one of the class computers and basically just typing more or less from memory the first couple chapters of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, except the main character was named Mike. So I plagiarized, basically. Question 5, Mulan. What is the strongest character you've ever written, and what makes them strong? Probably one of the characters in the superhero novel. I would say maybe not the main character yet, although I think she's on her way there. Maybe some of the adults from the superhero novel who went through some of the other... No, actually, it's one of the characters from the superhero novel. It's the girl with wings. Star Wars. If you had to live in one of the worlds or setting you've created, which would it be and why? Well, I would not want to pick my current work in progress. The library novel would not be a lot of fun to live through. Right now it would be fine, it's just a town in Texas, but some other things are going to happen, and I don't want to live there when they're happening. The fantasy novel would be rough, because, you know, it's a fantasy world. There's not, like, a ton of modern medicine, and there's some other, unless you're a certain hierarchy, it's kind of a struggle to live in some places, so I don't want to go there. The superhero novel would probably be the easiest. There would be some life-threatening disasters that strike major metropolitan areas, but, just don't live there. Live in the suburbs, and you should be fine. Question 7. Anthems. Which Disney songs would you put on your writing playlist? It's the circle of life, and it moves us all. Probably I'm Still Here from Treasure Planet. I think that is a great song that puts the character first. And anything like that would be, I think, really handy. A song like that really helps keep the character's conflict at the center of the story, so I think that would be my choice. Anything else would be distracting, because I would just sing along with them. I would sing along with that one too, but not as often. Question 8, retellings. Which fairy tale movie would you want to retell? I've always said that I think Sleeping Beauty is basically a 50-minute long prologue to a dragon fight. And I think that's true still. But that's based on my memory. But I saw it when I was a kid and I was the target audience. So I think Sleeping Beauty, and I wouldn't go the Maleficent route. I would just say you want to make it so Aurora has some role in the finale. The story doesn't have to end with her being absent. Because the thing about both Sleeping Beauty and Snow White is that they are unconscious and completely passive for the end of their movie. Their prince character has to come along and save the day, and the prince isn't really a character. So maybe making it more of a two-hander, the way something like Tangled was told, where the prince has some characterization, but also you have to give the female protagonist something to do when the story ends. So something like that, something along those lines. Frozen. Which character that you've written is most likely to be misunderstood or incorrectly interpreted as a villain? 2 of the main characters from the superhero novel fit into that. That's literally part of their arc going forward through the course of that series. So easily, number 1 with a bullet would be those 2 characters. Number 1 and 2 with bullets. MOANA. If you had to go on an epic journey with one of your characters and the 2 of you were tasked with saving the world, who would you choose and why? Ooh, I would say one of the characters from the superhero novel. She is one of the adult heroes. She's sort of the Superman analog. We don't get to know her that well in the first book, but my goal is for her to become a major character as that story goes on. I think you'd enjoy spending time with her, and she'd also be super duper helpful. So that would be my choice. Actually, I might change that answer to one of the friends from the superhero novel because they are fun. And some of them have helpful powers. And if it's a boat trip, I definitely bring the one from Atlantis because you want that character with you on a boat trip. Wrigley keeps picking the noisiest toys to play with. It could be worse, actually. Here, here's a towel. Play with the towel. He's not interested in the towel. Pinocchio. What's the most common lie you tell people about your stories or writing? When I tell myself that I'm going to write during a day. That was easy. Question 12. Sidekicks. Who is your favorite minor character you've written that you wish you could give their own full story to? Probably would be either the Atlantean or the girl with wings from the superhero novel. Those are characters I've actually seriously considered doing like a side story, either a prologue or a slice of life sort of story about them. So we'll see what happens when I finish this draft. That does it. That's the end of the tag. If you like these questions and want to answer them yourselves, feel free to answer them in the comments or go ahead and film your own video. Film part of the tag. If you do that, just make sure to drop it in the comments so that I know that you did the tag so I can be like, hey, cool, tag friends of the tag, tagging friends. Other things you can do, you can like the video with clicking the thumbs up. You can comment on the video by words. You can ring the bell so that you know when I do more videos. And you can hang out with me. I don't have a sign off. Bye!